What is going on, guys? It's Ryan here with another episode of the Dent Digest live show, episode number 34. So I do have a special guest here, Mr. Chris Brown. What's going on, Chris? I got no sound from Chris again. No sound. So we're going to get in. I still got no sound. Just let me know when you're get it all back together. I want to get into last week a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed that show. It was super stressful for me. It was a 2 hours and 20 minute show. Had quite a few tool manufacturers on. It seemed like everybody did well for the Black Friday sales. We're going to keep doing that, multiple guests at the same time here after the first of the year. Kind of keep it fresh and get some more companies on here at the same time. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was this long. I tried to give everybody enough time and work through it, but it seemed like it worked really well. It ran really smooth. I had Mike helping me. So if you guys missed it, go back to that episode from last week. Can you hear me, Chris? Yeah, I don't have any sound from you. So we are going to get into some tools when I get Chris back, but I want to keep you guys going. So giving you guys a heads up, it's not that we're not responding to the Facebook comments that are on here. The streaming platform that I do have doesn't allow me to respond from here to a profile. They want you to stream to a business page, but I'm just going to keep it going. So don't feel like we're not responding to your comments. We are responding. They're on YouTube, but you can't see them on Facebook. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. Looks like I've got Chris back on here. There we are. Still got no sound. No sound from Chris Brown. We just got this all worked out a couple minutes ago, and we're back to it. So there is a couple events coming up. We've got MTE in January. You've got the Stanliner event the week before. It's actually the week of. So the Stanliner event is right before MTE. You've also got Dave Stream's event also, which looks like a really good event. He just announced it. He's doing some seminars that same week. So if you guys are interested, go to their website, sign up if you're interested, and just kind of work through it. See if you want to sign up. The Stanliner event looks like an awesome event. Everybody loved it when it was at Don Cavanaugh's place. I mean, John Scotto's in here. He was one of the guys that went. I didn't go, but I think I'm going to have to go to the one at MTE. See if we can get Chris's audio back up. Nothing. I got nothing. Got nothing. So it's funny because we've been trying to work Chris's audio through for a little while before we got on here. We got it. He muted it, and it hasn't come back yet. So we're going to keep trying to work through. So I do have some tools. I want to get into the tools a little bit. Why don't you relog back in, Chris? I'm going to kick you out again and just use this second link. See if it'll come back through. So I got this tool the other week, and it looked pretty unique, and I was kind of excited about it. So I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's a double whale tail. It's a gunslinger from the Dent Reaper. I used it today for the first time. I actually really enjoy it. I enjoy the handle and how stable you can get it at the bottom of your arm. It seems to fit nicely in the hand. And I do like that it is a wide whale tail and a thin whale tail at the same time. It's really well made. The handle is what does it for me. I just like the way that it feels. It feels really comfortable in the hand. I've really used it a ton today on an aluminum hood on our favorite Subaru because everybody loves working on Subarus. See if we can get Chris in. He's coming back on. What's up, Chris? Got nothing. Still got nothing. Got nothing from Chris's audio again. So dentreaper.com, if you guys want to get this, it's made by A1 Tools. I really enjoy it. It's I'm going to keep running it through some tests, see how it goes on how I'm enjoying, using it on everyday stuff. So I'm going to see if we can send him a new email. So the other tool that I've been using, and we've talked about it on and on, it's a blend product. It is the balloon tip tools. And it's funny, Manny's on here, and we were talking right before he went to PDR World Cup, and we were talking about the balloon tips, if they were good, if they were not good, what I thought. And I really enjoy this. And it took a while for me to get used to using it because it's just different. It lays on the dent differently. It pushes the dent up differently. Um, it's just totally different. It on sharp dents, it brings it up super clean. And it took a while. The hardest time I had with this tool was finishing the dent. It just seemed like it couldn't finish the dent. So I ended up kept trying it. This thing is freaking awesome. I'm using it today on aluminum hood. Super clean pushes. It pushes like it's a rubber tip. But it does take some time to really learn how to finish it. See if we've got Chris back on here.
I'm trying.
Look at that. We've got Chris Brown here, guys.
Yeah. Finally.
He made it.
Woo.
What's up, Chris Brown?
I thought I was blowing the whole show for you.
Hey, I can ramble about nothing. Believe me, these guys in here are like, Ryan can just ramble. We'll be fine. So,
oh, man.
It's good to have you back. I was starting to sit here and
thanks for having me.
It's the old guy thing,
Yeah.
So I was rambling on about some tools and about some events. Let's get into the tool that you brought. You brought some tools too. So let's get into your little bit of tools. See what you brought.
This first one's not an everyday tool, but it definitely has come in handy. I saw it at MT Vegas, had to have it. It's a stand liner tool, real sharp. It's got a heck of a curve to it. You can see that. Let me back up a little bit. There you go. I mainly use it to get into the electrical outlets and go down towards the front of the rear door. So it's coming in handy. So really nice tool. And the next, of course, my favorite one is Crown Jewel. This thing I've been using every single day.
Yeah, boy. Look at
every day.
The tool that he listens to me about rambling about. And he was like, what do you think? And I was like, bro, that thing is, let me tell you.
I bought it just to shut you up, but then
hey. It was a real story though. It was a real story.
Yeah, it was. It was good to go.
What are you using it on?
Mainly big crowns. Just beating the crap out of it. Just like you said, if you think you're hitting it hard enough, you're not.
No, I mean
hit harder.
And even if it does divot it a little bit, it's such a soft divot. I used to use a Dentcraft knockdown with a big like M24 mushroom tip from Dentcraft and just beat it and it would divot it. That thing, man, is
Well,
I hated on it. I'll tell you that. I was the first guy to sit back and tell Chad. We were at the Hail Expo, and Chad brought it, and he's like, brings it out of his bag, and he's like, hands it to me, and I was like, another blending hammer? Come on, Chad, you're more creative than that. And he's like, just trust me. It's not. It's for something different. And I was like, bro, how different can we be? It's another carbon hammer. He's like, no, trust me. So they had a hood there. And we beat on this hood before the Hail Expo started. And he's like, see? And I was like, I still don't think it works. So I took it home and it works.
Oh, yeah.
He throws it in my face all the time. So it's all good.
Well, I need it because, I'm just a beginner blender. So,
Hey, us old Dent Wizard guys didn't learn how to blend.
That's right.
We did it. But give me a metal knockdown and a hammer. I will go
all day,
any one of them.
All day.
Any one of them, dude.
All day.
Yes.
Yep.
See, I don't feel so bad. I tell Mike Toledo all the time. I'm like, bro, I can't burn with a hammer. And he's like,
Nope.
really? And I was like, bro, I can't. I don't know if it's because I can't see or if it's because I don't know. But give me a VIP and a hammer, and I will smoke any one of these guys out here.
Oh, I still use the plastic VIP tip. You know,
Yeah.
screw that in an ultra and just you know, just go to town.
So that other tool you say you use on F-150s.
Yeah,
And
I do a lot of F-150s.
And you're going in the electrical outlet trying to get close to that edge.
Yeah, the front edge, you know, so long as it's within the first, you know, from the edge of the door, 12, 14 inches back towards the middle.
Yeah.
It totally hooks around and gets you right on that body line.
Okay. Now, and that is a stand liner tool that we don't know the name.
I don't know. I saw it hanging on the wall. They only had like 2 or 3 of them. That was in Vegas.
Okay. So I'm calling it the cattail because it looks like a cattail.
I'll look it up and we could put it on later.
You know, it's got that weird shape to it, and I've been using a lot of stand liner stuff too. It's been situational. You know, it isn't my first go a lot of times, but a lot of it's because of my own fault because I don't quite know exactly how to use them. Also, that's why I need to go to the stand liner.
Yeah. I'm totally guessing when I'm using them. So
100%. So how long have you been in paintless dent repair? You're an old dog with me, so.
Yeah, July 1994 is when I started.
Shoo. So, and I don't know if these guys know you. So this guy is the all famous Steve Brown's brother. So the whole reason Steve Brown's in dent repair is because of you.
Because he saw my first check. He actually, here's a funny one. He asked me one day, "What are you doing now?" I said, "Oh, I got this job. I'm going to take dents out of cars." And he said, "Who the hell would want to do that? Who's going to want little dings out of their car?" I said, "All right." And then he didn't see me for about a month because the Wiz had me over at Dollar Rent-A-Car doing, 30 cars a day. And, from sun up to sundown. And then after the first month, I walked up to his apartment and showed him my check. He says, "Oh, that looks pretty good."
How do I sign up?
That's right.
So let's get into your story. So who did you start with? How were you trained? Let's get into the good stuff.
Got in with the Wiz in '94. I was supposed to do the full training, but I was getting
the poor Wiz. Oh my God.
The poor Wiz, man. We beat up on them, but in hindsight, being 2020, I owe everything to them. So
hey, I'm the same way. I sit back, and that's why all of us get along. It's so funny because I talked to John Scotto. He's an old Wiz. Your brother. We all understand each other. It's like a sorority. You know what I mean? Like we all sit back and we all know each other how we're gonna work. And I mean, besides your brother,
sorority of the sorority of the beaten.
Yeah, your brother starts his day at 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and
but he does go till 9 o'clock at night. So
he does. I mean, so you started with the Wiz.
Yeah, and then
how long were you with them?
Just a year and a half. I went in with the idea of buying a franchise.
Okay.
And I had a buddy who wanted to be partners, but it didn't work out. They wanted to keep us in the corporate area. We didn't want to stay, so we moved on.
Yeah.
And I've been going by myself pretty much ever since. So,
little trials and tribulations, but you're working through it.
Oh,
so,
yeah,
your situation's a little unique. So you're an old dog like me that kind of gets in a rut and just stays in that rut and just keeps plowing through it. You were with, or you still are, with a massive dealership group, correct?
Yeah, I've had this weird thing of once I got out on my own, I always get the big dog. I had Enterprise Rent-A-Car for years before I had Galpin Motors. So I would do, 20 cars a day at Enterprise. Mm-hmm. And I would offer them these, whole car packages.
Of course.
And that made it you know.
That's the only way they're going to
Anyway,
do it anyway.
yeah, but up to date, I've been with Galpin Motors for 21 years, and
Shoo.
just there today. You know, they have 11 stores. They're adding 2 more this year. They're going to add Land Rover and Porsche, so we're going to be even busier. And I do have a tech working for me now. He's been with me a year, Austin. He's coming up at a nice pace. He's doing a good job. But yeah, I was in the rut, man. I have to tell you, if it weren't for my brother came to me one day and was like, "Hey, man, you need to get out of your bubble. Come see what's happening in the dent world." And then I started watching YouTube videos and everything, and I would text and be like, "This is BS," because I was a dinger,
Of course,
So
of course.
I'd see these smashes and be like, I don't know, man, So, but then start to really study it, get into it, start to meet people who are doing this stuff. And, you know, thanks to Steve, I got out of the bubble and now I'm just full speed, just the bigger the smash, bring it. I'll try it. I may not be the best at it, but I'll try it.
It's scary because I look at the stuff now that we're fixing and I'm like, I passed on $1 million worth of work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kicking myself now. I did a dent yesterday that I was like, man, I would have laughed at you 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
I would have tried to sell him a hood.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a different, and I tried to explain this, and I think the industry, I say this all the time too, the industry's changed, and how it's changes, it's kind of broken down in categories. You have a door dinger guy that works dealerships. You have a guy that does straight in-house at a dealership. They work for the dealership. You have guys that do rental work, the wholesale rental work, run around and do just rental
Mm-hmm.
cars. You have a guy like me that does a ton of body shops. And you have retail guys, and you have guys that kind of float in between retail, some wholesale, some body shop. And then you have guys that are strictly retail location. That's all they do. They
Mm-hmm.
sit in their location and you come to them, no mobile, nothing. And then you have the
Right.
hail guy that does nothing but hail, the traveling
Right.
hail guy. So I just think the industry's changed so much that we're fixing bigger damage. The good thing is, I only right now I really see prices rising on the
Yeah.
larger damage. We're
Yeah, for
getting
sure.
paid more and more money for the larger stuff, and it's a
Oh
lot of
man,
it's education.
precedent.
Yeah,
I'm not the bad guy. Come, just pulling a number out of my rear end. I I nowadays, like when I get Yelp or Google, they'll send me. I'll actually go in, do precedent, screenshot it, and text it to them so
yeah.
that it looks official. And I know that's not a new thing, but it's really given. My customers are really responding to it. I don't
Well,
get that many no's anymore.
and I've been doing a test, and this is just me and my market. Went to the Mega Media event, um, and I was learning a lot of these shortcuts in the phone to have them pre-recorded text messages, and you're sending them out. And I've realized since I've been back, I close less jobs if I don't talk to them on the phone. Do you have that
Hmm.
problem?
Yeah. Yeah, I do because what I try to do is get them off the social media avenue that they came in and text me to my phone number, and
Yeah,
then I have their phone number, and then I can call them and talk to them.
yeah.
Because I want to control the expectation, you know, especially when you're doing the bigger stuff,
Of course.
So I
And
want to.
you want to make it, and I hate to say this, you want to explain how technical some of the repairs are because everybody thinks. I mean, I had a guy. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday. Get my suction machine. Just get that suction machine and suck it out. And I had Shane over there with his straw,
Yeah,
trying to suck on it with his straw.
right.
For me, it's comical sometimes, and the vacuum and the dry ice. And I was like, man, I forgot to hook up my trailer with my nitrogen in the back. I don't even know how we're gonna repair any of these cars today.
Right.
You're trying to make fun of it, and
Yeah, yeah. Well, I learned a valuable lesson from. I don't know if you know Joe from Dent.
yeah,
Man, he's really good at educating the customer.
yeah,
He's got some great videos and stuff, and I've been taking. That's the best thing about all of us talking to each other now. You know, in the old Dent Whiz days and the old days, dude, don't walk on my lot. I'm going to come over and talk to you,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and I'm going
Oh
to
yeah.
ask you to leave in a
We've had
very forceful way.
it's a different world. I remember being hidden in the back and nobody could see you, and
Yeah,
another dent guy
no,
roll up and you'd be like, bro, what are you doing here? Like, what's your
for,
problem?
yeah.
Now it's like, come on over, check out, let's talk.
Yeah, I was driving down the road the other day, and a guy I haven't even officially met yet, he started honking at me. You know, it was like another Dent guy, and I was like, "Oh, hey." You know, we actually talk now. But
Yeah.
the best thing about that is, if I go down to Ultra for the day,
Hold
on
on.
the way
We can't,
back.
no, we can't talk about that.
Oh,
This
really?
is my problem with all you California guys that are close to Ultra. You're like, I'll just run down to Ultra and buy some stuff. If I go on Ultra,
Oh,
it costs me like $30 to ship it here. So, we
well,
can't talk about that's a banned word here. No Ultra. We're not allowed to talk.
well, you and my wife will get along because every time I go there, I go for like 2 tap downs, and I come out with a box that should be bigger. The I told him last time I was there, I was like, "Can you put it in a bigger box so I feel better about myself?"
Yeah, you're right.
I'm walking
We
out
just
here as $800. You know?
we just talked today. I was like, hey, when are you going to Ultra? He goes, next rainy day. I'm like, perfect. Can you pick up? He's like, yeah, sure. But it's I'm big on education myself. I try to explain to them the difficulty in the dent and why it's difficult. You have laminated glass, and just try to
Right.
educate them. And I actually feel like when I have the customer in front of me and I'm trying to sell that job, physically marking the car
Right.
or explaining exactly what you're doing, and they're like, okay, I understand. It's a lot harder than we thought.
Yeah.
That it's definitely a thing. We do have a question. It said someone posted today about not advertising doing big dents necessarily. Said recommending to advertise the whole car. Trying to read the rest of it. The whole car dent repair. What are your thoughts? So I guess he's saying look over the whole car and sell it as a whole repair instead of just the one dent. Is what I'm thinking. Do you do that? So if a customer calls you, sends you an estimate, and you have a dent in your car, and you look at it and you're like, okay, yeah, it's going to be $350, and they're like, okay, and then you go to their house, okay, and you're looking to do the repair. Do you look over the rest of the car, or do you just do that one dent?
No, no, I totally look it over.
Okay,
Because and I also have like a scratch repair system in my van, so I'll
okay,
look for light scratches and stuff like that too. Do a little add-ons. But I definitely try to. I'm not very good at adding on to precedent once I'm there. Like I got my money,
okay,
and now I got a little quarter size dent over here on this fender, and I usually do it at a pretty good deal because I'm already there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I always tell, and I usually try to give them a little bit of a
Yeah,
discounted rate, just because I always say I've already got my tools out. That's half the cost. It's getting me out of the truck and pulling my tools
yeah,
out.
yeah.
So, Shane says he disagreed with that post. I didn't see the post, so I don't. I'll have to go back and read it. Uh, it was something Bryce Rockhill was saying in Tactical Dent. So we'll have to go back and check that out. What do you? Did you bring on your guy because you were so busy and you're trying to grow? What was the whole purpose of you bringing on another tech?
Well, certain times of the year, I'm definitely busy enough that I could feed both of us with no problem. This time of year, it cost me. But if I was going to make the leap into really doing retail and focusing on that, because in all honesty, when you take care of these big mega dealers, they own you.
Of course.
So especially after 20 years, they just look at you like, we pay your mortgage. You're going to do what we say.
Yeah. Which
So,
sucks. It sucks.
which, you know, it's a double-edged sword. On one side, you're like, I just show up, I have 10 cars, you know, and most of the time it's dinging, you know.
Yeah.
Um, Other times it's like, what do you mean? It's 8 p.m. and you're delivering what? I got to come down there, you know. So, but the main thing was I was getting scared because the industry, the auto market's changing.
Of course it is.
So, instead of, from the warning of my brother, I got thank him again. He's just kind of waking me up to things. He's like, hey, you better get with this program out here, or we're all going to encompass you. You know,
Of course.
I agree. I said, yeah. And then I went in, jumped in with both feet. I mean, I bought a transit van, which is
Look at that.
right behind me there.
Baller truck with the awesome logo.
And the last three MTEs and classes here and there, I think I spent over 50 grand in the last 2.5 years. Upgrading my tools. And
That's because you're up the street from Ultra.
well, and I was a dent wizard. I was like, man, if you can't do it with these 12 tools, it can't be done.
I was the same damn way. Oh, it's terrible.
So,
but let me tell you, go to John Scotto's shop. That guy has a lot of tools.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
That dude.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yes.
I love that guy. I met him for the first time in Vegas. Yeah, it was awesome.
He's
a cool dude. Yeah, good dude.
So, with Austin, did you train him? Did you send him out?
Sent him out. I sent them to Marty Runick, Top Gun, and I went up actually just the first day just to make sure this guy wasn't crazy, wasn't going to take our money.
Yeah.
And he's very, very good on teaching the fundamentals.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I kept Austin on a metal tip tool for the whole first year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's like, man, you got to get that center out. You better be able to do it with a metal tool and I paid him per day. So it was, take your time, learn it, do it right. And then once we fire this baby up, you're going to be fast. So,
yeah, I mean, it's Marty's I say it too, because I sent Shane to Marty also, and Marty is the mental end of the training.
Yeah.
He figures you out and to make it work. Because everybody learns differently.
Yeah.
Well,
it was funny because when I went there, I was looking at his lights and he was looking at my eyes.
Yes.
And he's like, you're using the wrong light. I'm like, man, I've been doing it. What are you talking about? And so he says, all right, it's going to get kind of weird, but just trust me. And he gets right up in my face and looks at my eyeballs while I'm looking at the light. And he says, try this. And he clicked 2 different color lights. And it was like he turned the dang lights on, like I was doing dents in the dark. I was like, all right, man, I'm going to go home now. You got my guy.
What lights was it?
So
what light was it?
It was just the way he put, because I'm a fade guy. So it's like, I'm used to putting one line in the middle and maybe I'll put another light on somewhere else, closer to the panel. Well, he put a warm and a cool right close together and like an amber and a white.
Yeah.
And it just, the line between the two of those, that just worked for me.
It's like a Pro PDR hail light that you can, I was using one today with cool and an amber together, and it gives that weird line in the center of both of them that's hard.
Yes. Yeah, and then you don't have to put a piece of tape on your lens.
Yeah.
It does a nice job, yeah.
Because I know you can't see a damn thing with lines.
Oh, forget it. Mike, I love you, but I go cross-eyed, man.
I can't even read the newspaper with those lines. How do you guys fix anything with that thing? I talked to Lee Cherie, and he's like, I really want to learn fog because he learned with Mike, and he wants to learn the fog so he can use both. And that's probably the best way, is to know how to do both, because if you understand the concept, I just can't figure it out.
Well, I can do it if the dent is shallow. I can see it, I can finish it, but once you get what they call those owl eyes in there, when you're looking at it, when the deep dent, I'm lost. Forget it. I'm done.
It's very difficult, It's So you're rock and rolling with Austin. You're still at your large account, and I remember we were talking in Vegas, and you're really pounding some retail now. How's that going?
Yeah. it's going good. Even this time of year, it's still, I get 2 or 3 retails a day now. Three's a busy day, but it's at least two, you know, anything from a ding to a smash, and I don't really do much. I'm just doing Yelp and a little bit of Google, and because I got to go to Mega Media. I don't know how to do this stuff. I'm an old backlot
And let me
guy,
tell you,
so
in that event, I I'll be honest with you. I had told Mike and John this year, and I said I hated on this event in the beginning. I was like, "There's no way this is gonna work." It was
mhm,
expensive. It was I don't know how they're gonna get guys to sign up, and they did, and it slowly grow, and it got bigger and bigger. And I I told John, I said, I'm an advocate for you because that event is different than any event I've ever been to, just in the quality of people and the information. If you leave with two
yeah.
things out of that event, you're doing really good. It's
Well,
it's worth every dime.
yeah, I was going to go to the Colorado one, but then my son had a thing at college where the parents were supposed to be there, so it was the same weekend. So I ended up in Michigan. But I'm definitely going. I mean, Mike's we're now friends, so I trust what he says, and I'm
It
gonna jump
was
on board.
it was really good, man. I mean, it was
Yeah,
you get really good photos out of it. And it's just I mean, we went to dinner and there was 45 of us. We walked in the Texas Roadhouse and said, "Can we get a table for 45?" You know,
yeah, love
it
that.
was just the quality of information. I mean, there was so much. I was on the flight home and I worked for the 4 or 5 hour flight home. The lady next to me, she says, "You've been working the whole flight." I was like, "I can't forget this stuff because the minute I hit the ground when I get
Right,
home, I'm gonna forget everything."
right, right.
You know,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next one, so I'll be trying to get there for
it,
sure.
it's good. It's a good event. I was super lucky to be able to be asked to speak. Um, didn't speak about anything important, so I won't be speaking there again.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not the case.
So your brother's still in the area. How far is he from you? Like, are you guys
Huh.
close? You
Yeah,
guys
I mean,
overlap?
oh yeah, all time. I mean, well, we overlap in territory, but
Yeah.
he's got such a different clientele that you know, Steve is like the ultra high end guy, and I do a lot of Jags and Aston Martins because
Yeah.
that's my dealer, right? And I got all those customers. But that guy will work on 3 Ferraris a day, so he's got that clientele, and he set out to get them years ago. So, and it's really worked for him. So, but he'll come over to Galpin. Galpin has a Starbucks in it, so I'll get him a coffee, and
He's got to
we'll
get that
hang out
high
for a little.
class
Yeah,
coffee,
yeah, yeah, that's right.
flip flops and tank top. I love Steve. I bust his balls, but let me tell you, that dude,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm
No,
getting,
he,
Mark's
go
asking a
ahead.
question. He goes, I'm sure this has been asked before, but I'm curious. How do either of you help out a larger account like you have without setting precedent, or is it not even a consideration? I guess he's saying helping out
Oh,
another
what?
tech.
I think he's talking about maybe he's talking about helping out another tech,
No.
or he's talking about setting a precedent of when they're asking for favors.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
because you're there all the time, and you were just saying how they
yeah,
own you.
yeah. So I obviously have a size limit in the package, but I will fix bigger. Like I'm going to do one tomorrow that's going to get wholesaled out. It's a smash. Okay, it's on a Volvo XC90. Ugh, right? But this particular manager gives me pretty much what I asked for. So he's got money in the Goodwill Bank, and you got to build some reserves in the Goodwill Bank before
Of
you
course.
ask for favors, which means you sell 70 cars a month. I need to see 40 of them. As simple as that.
He said yes, favors.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's how you build your relationship with these guys too. I'm big on relationship building. So is Don. I mean, he'll talk about relationships forever, and he's been doing it a lot longer than I have. But I think a lot of it's they will take advantage. That's for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
Um, but I think
Well,
you just have to kind of stand your ground a little bit and
yeah.
make sure that it's
Well,
consistency is what it is. Because if you
well, especially from the employees. Okay,
yes,
so this particular dealer group has 2,600 employees.
Phew.
So there's a lot of favors being asked. But the great thing is the dealer backs it up. They're like, what? No favors. They pay. They pay what we pay, or we're going to start getting whatever you gave it to them for. So okay, well they'll be paying retail.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think it's
yeah,
you just have to stand to your guns, and I think it's
yeah,
the consistency because the minute you give, they're gonna
mhm,
take, and then they're gonna to expect.
yes.
So
Now
Manny's asking, are you
the
competing at MTE?
no, dude, I'm 52. I don't have the eyes for competition anymore. Give me 2 hours, I'll get that thing out. But no, that's straight up. That's honest right there. You know,
We don't want to mess with you,
uh,
man. And you got
yeah,
this. You're gonna
no,
crush it again.
no, man, he's been pushing me to do it, and I keep telling him, dude, I don't know. I'm 52. I wake up one day, I can see, the other days I can't. I don't know. So anyhow, uh,
But I really think it's consistency with the managers and the employees and the salesmen and
oh yeah. The other thing I was going to say too is, when you're there that often, I'm there 5 days a week, bouncing from all the different stores. I'm in one of the places, multiple places every day. I begin to become friends with them. You know, matter of fact, one guy plays, he sings and plays guitar at, in his off time. I go watch. We become friendly. You know, um, and it's just, you're right. You got to stand your ground, but at the same time, you got to do it with class and
you
a
do
little bit of, you know,
pick and choose your
diplomacy.
battles.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
But they'll eat you up. They really will. They will totally abuse it.
Well, there are other mega dealers in our area that I went to one today, but I only do their service departments and I charge them full price guide. I won't do their used cars because they will eat you alive,
Yeah,
and I know that going in, so I don't even seek that work.
it's I don't know. I mean, like I said, I really think it's
Well, and all this stuff, it's easy to say when you have a big account and you've been there for a long time and you're not starving. If this changed and I lost this thing, you guarantee I'm gonna walk into every other dealer on the boulevard.
oh yeah.
So, you know, in all transparency. Yeah.
What is your biggest struggle right now in your own business?
Just learning the new ways of social media, and you know, I still have that old mentality of, my brother has it too. It's kind of like, hey, look, you need a good dent guy more than I need your business because we're busy. So, but that's not the right way. That's not the way the
Yeah.
world works anymore. you
Yeah.
know so changing all that, learning, you saw, just trying to hook this thing up and get it going. Is a
Any live. I
is
mean, I explain to
yeah.
everybody, a lot of people I get on here early before the show, and anytime you're doing a live show, there's a lot of moving parts in these type of live shows, podcasts. Um, just because the audio and the video and the internet, there's a lot of moving parts that have to be all
Hmm.
perfectly. I was very lucky last week. I told Mike today, I had Mike Toledo on the phone and we were talking. I was like, man, I can't believe we did that. He's like, me neither. And I said, we didn't have one hook, one mishap. One guy didn't do the right thing. Besides time. So
Right.
it looks like I'm told it's going to be a tradition. So every Wednesday before Thanksgiving, we're starting earlier and we're going to do a massive couple hour show. And
Very cool.
I'm going to have to do some Red Bulls and eat some vitamins the night before. So, but no, I think, and I did it too. The I was like, I don't need Facebook. Why do I need Facebook? There's drama on
Right.
Facebook. I don't need that.
Right.
Um, it, it's all in. Toledo says it all the time too. It's all in consistency. Social media right now is fast, free advertising. You don't even have to
Hmm.
spend a dollar to do it.
Right.
And we're all learning different ways to catch. Lynn was in here. He's awesome with it. I know he's handling a bunch of the companies, tool manufacturers, social media, and some of their advertising packages. And you can do a lot with it. It's just learning how to do it and spending the time. You think I don't know. I mean, I just figured this out. You know what I mean? I was
Right.
never taught how to do this, and I'm not a computer dude to figure it out. Um, but a lot of it's just yourself putting the time in and saying, "I'm going to figure this out." And when you get older,
Hmm.
you don't feel like figuring out anything new. You know what I mean? Um,
Right.
but yeah,
Well, actually, I feel like this is 3 years ago, right? I saw Mike Toledo on a couple videos, and then I saw him at Ultra. He was there with a student getting them their tools. I met him, and then it's been nonstop from there of learning. And I was in that rut, I just showed up to work. I was just grinding it out. And not that I wasn't appreciative of it. It was just, you know, it's just the same old dang thing, you know. I was even looking at getting into different business, and because it had nothing to do with money, it just had to do with I was bored.
yeah, yeah.
And
I mean,
then this whole world of text talking to each other, meeting each other, and new tools, and looking at dents and going, uh, I could actually do that, you know,
mhm,
and jumping into that world and then actually being successful at it.
yeah,
You know, I did one on an Acura MDX. The whole fender was gone, and then I said, we'll try it and see what happens. You know, I got like 95%. Guy was completely stoked. And I was just standing back there giggling, one, because of the price of dent money, and two,
yeah,
because it actually worked,
yeah.
you know. And I know guys have been doing smashes for a long time. That's, they don't think twice about it anymore. But for me, being a dinger most of my 25 years, it's a real eye opener, and I feel rejuvenated.
Oh, well,
I
I
feel like
think
I'm in a new career.
it pushes your limits. You're seeing with some of these
Yeah.
guys. I mean, look at Bryce. Bryce
Oh,
has been
dude, the
crushing it.
guy's
He's an alien.
yeah, for sure.
He's he some of the stuff he fixes, I'm like, how in the
Well, my brother would send me stuff. He's like, "What do you think about this?" I'll be like, "Why? Don't you have other work?"
I
You
get the
know?
Shane looks at me sometimes, he's like, I was for sure you were gonna kick that. And I'm like,
Right,
I don't even
right.
know
But
why I'm trying it.
well, Steve will post something, and I'll be like, dang it! Now I got to do something like that.
Yeah,
He's my brother.
yeah.
So and he's really pushed me, and I thank him for it because I actually I can do a dent now. 25 years in, I can
You
do
could
a
do
dent
a
now.
dent before. Don't even you need to give yourself some credit, man. Come
Oh
on now.
man.
So Matt from Get a Grip is asking, does Galpin ask you for holiday contributions every year? What do you guys think about your wholesale accounts asking for gifts?
There's a rule at Galpin that's put down by the owners. If it can't be consumed in 24 hours, you can't give it to anyone. So it has to be food or drink.
I cater. So I don't cater myself, but I have a company cater. I usually take my top 3 billers of the year. So my top 3 billing
Mm,
accounts, I have them catered every year. Um
that's awesome.
and it costs me, it ends up costing me under $2,000. It's like 1,700 or 1,600 bucks, but they talk about it after that. Like
Yeah.
like my Honda dealer, um, some of my body shops, it seems, and you get more out of it because the estimators at the body shops are like, man, that was really good. You're on their mind for a little while because they're like, nobody else
Yeah.
is doing that. Everybody's coming by with a mug and saying
Right.
Merry Christmas or a bottle of
Now,
wine or whatever.
now the GMs, the different stores that
Yeah.
have something to do with my paycheck. Um, I go above and beyond for them. Like because I know them, I know what they're into. I know one guy's got like 6 Chihuahuas, so I get him a PetSmart card. You know, The other guy's a musician. I get him
See,
a card at, Guitar Center.
that's why
Yeah,
you're doing well there, because you're relating your relationship to them. You
yeah,
listen that he's a pet guy or he's in the guitar, and you're not just buying him a Starbucks card, or you're not
right,
buying him a breakfast card at Chick-fil-A, or you're individually picking a card for that person, and that means more than anything. I say this all the time. People want to deal with people. They don't want to deal with a
right,
corporate
right,
company. They want to deal with you,
right.
Look at this. Manny's asking, look at that. Chris and Steve at the buddy competition at MTE. That
Oh,
would be good. But see, the problem
uh,
with that is we'd have to get Chris in a tank top and flip
right.
flops. I don't know if we
That
can do that.
flip flops I can do. Tank top, you might not want to see that.
So,
uh,
I don't know. I think you're taking it to that relationship and giving them that special touch because you listen to them, which is good.
well, and if you're gonna put all your eggs in that basket, you you better know what's going on around you.
Of
You know,
course.
because
Of course.
you don't want to wake up one day and just for the difference of $5 per car be out.
Yeah.
You know, I've
Yeah.
actually walked into matter of fact, the one manager came in over at the high end store, and he was used to using an all in one company at his previous store. He came in and tried to get me out because like my he didn't like the fact that I have the machines
Yeah.
and everything street. And he was like, he came back from a manager's meeting and he asked me, he says, "Why are you so untouched? I guarantee you a good job. You don't have to worry about Saturday afternoon. You don't have to worry about dents on your lot." So it's just about service, you know, take it seriously.
It really is. And
You're,
it's when you have these larger companies in there, I don't think they always give them that service. Some guys do. I mean, there's some
right.
really good guys in here right now that work for some large companies that I know they do a really good job. Um, I just realized you you really need to relate to them. When I'm trying to get a
Yeah.
new account, I'll go in and look. Do they have a golf business card holder, or does it have a hunting dog on it? Or look around at your
Right.
surroundings and see
Right.
what they like. Like one of the managers that I know, he has a big boat on his desktop, like on his computer, and I'm like, oh, what kind of boat? There you are.
Mm
You're in.
hmm. Mm hmm.
You're in.
He'll talk to you for half an hour.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So it's all about being real, just
Yeah.
spending a little bit of time. Build that relationship. And then you don't have to worry about it. That's one thing that Shane, with him riding with me, has realized. I'm big on relationship. Relationship to
Yeah.
me is more than me making money half the time, because I look at these shops as family, you know.
Mm hmm.
And it's all about that, spending a couple minutes with them. You're not just in there getting your money, getting out, and just trying to build that relationship to where every salesman or every single detail guy or everybody in there knows you. So if somebody does come in, they're snapping a picture of who's coming in and texting it to
Yep.
you, or hey, dude, there's some other dent guy in here. I get it too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, I had Mira from Dentless came up to do something to his Metris van,
yeah,
and he came to meet me for a coffee, right? And I got while we were sitting having coffee, I was showing him pictures of his van because guys were texting me
yeah,
pictures saying, "Hey, there's a dent guy here."
yeah. It was a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago. It was a Friday, and one of my competitors went around, and I'm really heavy in my area, and all these guys are like, "Who's this company?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, yeah." They stopped in, dropped a bunch of cards, and it was the whole day. It was like bing, 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 or
Yeah.
text messages, and I'm like, "Did you try
Yeah.
them?
He was on
Did
a
you
marketing day.
did you try them? I mean, let me know how it goes, because when I come back, your price is higher."
For sure.
You know. So how do you feel about the industry right now? How do you feel that the industry is going in the right direction? What do you see for the future?
Well, obviously, I only have one perspective because the way my business is set up, but and where I live. But I'm really excited. Um, I think I think we are stronger together than we are apart.
Oh yes,
Um,
100%.
like this Dent Tech meetup thing that we're doing out here in SoCal. It's like it's invaluable. I mean,
We're
it's
doing one on the East
incredible.
Coast. We're gonna do
Yeah,
one
I
at John
saw that
Scotto's
post.
shop. Just need
Oh,
to get the dates and everything worked out, and hotels, and it should be really good. I'm
well,
excited. I mean, you guys just had one at Vince's shop, correct?
yeah, that was crazy. There were over 40 guys showed up.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, but as far as that goes, I mean, like I've been trying to get guys together and say, hey, let's not fight each other. Let's all make sure we're on the pricing guide, and that way we all end up within 10 or 15% of one another. And because we're not talking about prices, but we're just using the guide. And then there are times when I'm busy. Like I had a shop call me from Glendale, which is it's only like 15 miles away, but it just takes me too far out of my
Of
what
course.
I'm doing. So I just called Shane and I said, hey, from All Out Then, I said, hey, you want this? You know, and it. I hopefully it works out. I don't know if anything happened with it yet, but that the fact that I have somebody to call and say, hey, do you want this then? Or hey, can you help me with this? Or hey, I'm stuck.
Same thing.
I know you.
I just called a guy that it's kind of out of my area, but it's a fairly new account. And he's been wanting me to come out there, and I called and I was like, "Hey, do you think you can get this covered for me?" And he's like, "Sure, sure."
Yeah.
You know
Well,
that
like
that
I'm gonna be leaning. I'm gonna be leaning on my brother because my brother's been the Porsche guy for 20 years.
yeah.
And now my dealer's going to have Porsches, and I know there's secrets. Of course, he'll want to
Oh,
charge me for it, but hey,
whatever. Tell him
no, but
tell him
I
you'll
will lean
PayPal
on
him.
him. Yeah, right.
It's in the
I'll
paper.
I will lean on him for that and all those little secret holes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of it, but there's definitely some stuff and the fact that you can actually call upon. I did more hail cars this year, which is two that I've done in my whole career because of where I live.
Hmm.
And one of them, we were busy. Had a lot of retail. I called Lee, said, "Hey, come on out. We got a car." You know what? And he jumped right in and helped us. And that would have never happened 10 years ago.
Oh no, no doubt, no doubt. So we've got a bunch of guys talking in here. I'm gonna bring these back on.
Okay.
A lot of guys are talking about these chameleons from the Dent Reaper. These things are sick. They really are. I've been using them every day since I've had them. Um, they're just a really, really nice tool. I'm not just saying that because John's my buddy. I'd tell him if his tool stunk, but this tool, I mean, they're awesome. What I really like about these tools is it's still got flex to it. When I first pulled it out and I was like, oh my gosh, this thing's a little, there's a little more flex than I thought. It works perfect for getting around that brace and getting to the bottom of the door, like the Ford Edges that
Mm,
have that brace real low, or the
yeah. Uh-huh.
Ford F-150s. I used it today on an F-150, and it is. Thank you. That's all I can say to the Dent Reaper. Thank you. But a lot of guys
There
in
you
here are talking about the chameleons, asking where they are. John had a great Black Friday, so I'm sure they're trying to get them out to you guys. Where do you see tools? So where do you see the future in tools?
go. Probably a lot more advancements in glue pulling. I mean, we've already made. I mean, between Kiko and Cam, I mean, the stuff that they can do on the body shop side of things. And what's funny is my body shops are now starting to ask me about this glue pulling stuff because they need to get certified for these aluminum cars. And I'm like, oh, well, now you believe me, so, I've been showing them some stuff on the stuff that I have, but they're a couple of the bigger ones want to go and take those courses to
Yeah.
start using it.
Yeah,
So,
I have a lot
uh,
of body shop guys that are like, "What do you think about that Kiko kit?" And I'm like, "It's great. But there's other options. You know, there's another company in
Yeah.
my area hitting Spin Easy. They made a glue pulling pull to paint kit. I'll tell you, Charles from Cam Auto, some of the stuff he's coming out with is
Yeah. It's
pretty
amazing.
serious.
Yeah.
So the Kiko stuff is awesome. Glexco's changed the game. You know,
Yeah. Well, you know, I think more and more guys are going to be trying to get shops,
mhm.
you know, because of the stuff that you can do and the tools that are out there. You know, heck, Manny just got a
Yeah.
shop.
Congrats,
So
Manny. I saw that.
yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, I would have loved to have him here in Baltimore, but you know,
Right.
can't hate
Now I
on him.
did the shop thing years ago, and you know, I got up to the point where I had 8,000 square feet and 12 guys working for me, and we were doing full recon packages. But where I'm at, to have that building was 12,000 a month. You know, that's before electrical or anything.
Yeah.
So for me, when the auto industry tanked in 2008, I was like, I'm out, back to mobile.
True.
So I think it's turning back around now, because before that was just, you know, we're just dinging.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll tell you,
big ticket was $200. You know,
I, I really, I was big advocator for cold glue. Been using the
Mhm.
sticky tab tape, have the original Sergio's cold glue. That Glexco stuff is bonkers, bro. I mean, it
Yep,
really is. It's the stickiest stuff. I pull it out and all the guys are like, "Oh, that's just some dum dum." I'm like, "This
right,
is no dum dum, bro. I'm telling you."
right.
Um, and I don't know if you guys saw it. Toledo today posted a new tip from Glexco. So
Yeah, I
Glexco's
saw it.
coming out with a like a metal reducing meat tenderizer tip. It looks awesome. It's made out of titanium. So if you didn't see that, go to his Facebook feed. It really, really looks like an awesome tip. So I'm excited to see those and touch them and see what they're about. Um, there is a lot of technology coming out. I mean, you were talking about a aluminum hot box today
Yeah,
on those Fords, and you know, a lot of new tools coming out. Stuff that makes your life easier. The quality of tools. I mean, I could tell you right now, I can go out. I've got a bag full of some older Dent Wizard stuff, and none of that stuff looks like this.
no,
You know what I mean?
no.
It,
Well, and that's the thing. Like you look at it when you're just walking around in MTE or something like that, and you're like, really, 270 for that steel rod?
yeah.
You know, but you got to remember that that thing is going to make you a ton of money if it fits in the type of work that you do. And
Yes.
you know, well, I did not want to buy a hot box because I knew like they don't take that out. You know, I use it for blending and I use it to heat up aluminum just so I don't kill my arms on these
Yeah.
F-150s. So it has made my life way easier.
I mean, it's like the Power PDR box. I didn't. I wouldn't say I didn't believe it. Um, I don't think when I first looked at it, there was enough of them out there. I kind of got to mess around with it at MTE, and I'm like, man, this thing is actually really cool. For mobile, it's kind of a difficult unit to
No,
use mobile.
yeah.
How are you using the Power PDR box extension cord?
Well,
I
that I
mean,
do not
your hot
own.
box, your hot
The hot
box.
box is an extension cord, yeah. Um, Obviously, there's certain situations I'm not able to use it, but um, the thing that sold me on it was Steve at Ultra had a like a 2 day event, and it was just on power PDR tools. And so we just stayed the night down there. There was 15 guys there from all around the country. A couple guys from Canada,
I didn't even hear
PCT
about it.
guys were there. Yeah, and it was like I think something that Steve just put together quickly, called a bunch of guys that he knows, and we went there and just played with the hot boxes for 2 days. Just with that, it was before he had the hydraulic thing
Yeah.
to make the dents, but he put in some pretty serious dents. And that power PDR box, man, it does shrink the metal.
Yeah.
But
It,
for
it,
a route
mhm.
guy, it's kind of, you know, but
it's
the
it's
hot
it,
boxes work.
they do. I get a lot of questions about the hot boxes from body shop guys. They think it's new technology, and I'm like, that's been out for years. The regular steel
Yeah.
hot box has been out forever in the UK. Um,
Yeah.
but for me, I don't know. I think it's just difficult. Excuse me, I'm yawning. But difficult to do mobily. Um,
Yeah.
I- a lot of times, some of the stuff I look at, I'm like, man, I could really use this thing. I do some really, really bad, gnarly roofs, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, I could use it. But it's still a great tool. It really is. I mean, the quality of that thing is awesome. Um,
I used the steel hot box the other day and on a giant crown on a hood and just heated the whole area up and was able to use my crown jewel and just beat on it while it was hot, and just
yeah.
started. It laid down nicely for me, and there's two things I didn't have a couple years ago, and now it's like, okay, well, just took an hour off that job.
The other tool you said you had was the Ultra Doodah. I don't know what they call it. You have that. You bought that at
Yeah,
MT, right?
yeah,
How are you
yeah.
liking that thing?
It was cool because I was there when he made that, and then he came out and said, "What do you think of this, guys?" And we were there doing a certification thing for insurance work to be able to get insurance work, and Steve was the one certifying us for the insurance companies, and he came out and he showed it to us, and then Jeff from Beach City grabbed it, started playing with it, and gave him a couple suggestions. He went away, made a couple adjustments, came out, and there it was, ready to roll.
Yeah, I think the first one that I actually saw was Shane. Shane had it.
Yeah,
He wanted it to tech meetup, and he was
yeah,
posting
yeah.
videos of it, and I was like, man, that thing looks close to the Dudon. It's a little more adjustable. So have you used it a whole lot?
I use it
Okay.
all the time. And that's my go-to with the fender, the big fender smashers. I just put a 1 inch. I start with a tactical rubber ball.
Yeah.
Put that sucker on there and just get the meat of that thing out. If I didn't already cold glue it, that
Yeah.
cold glue it first, then I use that thing, and I'll get all the way down to a sharp pick tip with that thing. Once you get
Yeah.
used to it, it's kind of awkward. They're heavy.
Yeah.
Um, Once you get used to it, it's easy to move around and you can fine point that thing.
We got Mr. Daniel Grom on here, the creator of this balloon tip from
Well,
Glen.
yeah, I have not used another whale tail since I got those at Vegas. That's my. I just grab it and go. A
It's
little bit of a learning curve,
it
but
is it is, but it's a great whale tail.
oh, it's awesome.
It's a great tool. Um, it takes a while for Mark to make those, so
Yeah. What I find is how the heck did I bend it so easy to get it where I want it, but then I twist it, it doesn't bend.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's
I mean,
awesome.
it's forged, so
I have his
that's
hammer too.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good stuff. So, what is your if you had to buy something new that's out right now? What's out there?
Well,
What's on your want list?
s- since you provide me my shopping lists at MTE,
Oh
so
man.
I guess I'm gonna have to get the chameleons.
Hey, we got a real problem here, guys. Don't hang out with me at MT because I like spending
Yeah,
your money and me not spending any. You know?
right. So um, I, I I got to get some Reaper stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Being out here, I have a lot of things that Ultra makes that's kind of like what what you're talking about, but I definitely and in all honesty, I like supporting these guys.
Yeah.
Even if I
Yeah.
don't use it every day, I want to support them.
Yeah.
You know, they're making our industry better. They're using their time and their talents to come up with stuff. I'm not smart enough to do it, so I need these guys to do it.
It's crazy.
So
The technology. I mean, I had Chad on for the Black Friday, and I I call him the mad scientist because when he's quiet, when I don't hear from Chad a lot, the shit's about to hit the fan because he's building some cool stuff.
Right. Right.
You know,
That's
and
awesome.
just some of the stuff out here that MTE is going to be awesome. I think almost everybody out there is coming out with new stuff. So if you guys aren't going to
Got
MTE, you got to go to Orlando. It's a different animal than Vegas. Vegas was awesome. I know Daniel and the PDR Tool Time guys are doing even a more interactive booth than they already had. Um, I know.
bigger playground.
Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be a good time. It's just a different event. You know, you've been to both. You
Yeah.
can definitely tell that Vegas and Orlando is just different. Vegas was more of the door dinger guys and the West Coast guys
Hmm.
because they don't want to fly across the country. Orlando, the hail guys are crushing it in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping that some of the guys that I wasn't able to reach and convince them to come to MTE Vegas
Yeah.
will come to this Dent Tech meetup and then start getting with because we still have, like all areas, we have guys that, you know, Mike Toledo said something at our last get together. He says, "Look, it's upon us veteran techs to take these other guys who aren't up to speed, even if they're veterans, or especially the brand new guys, and bring them under our wings. Not saying we're better than anybody, just
Oh,
let's get it all together
yeah.
and work together on this and." Um, it just makes the industry better. So,
It is. I mean, it's.
you know,
I get a lot of calls from a lot of young techs and questions, and I'm like, you got to go to MTE. You know, there was a
yeah,
guy. There's one of the guys in here watching on Facebook, and I was like, you got to step your tool game up. You really do. Like, you need to spend the money, and I can't say it. Mike Toledo preaches this all the time about it's not spending money. You're investing in yourself. You
yes,
know. So Alex is asking, anyone use Cam Auto Glue? It's my favorite. Set time is no longer than the cactus green. Let me tell you, that Cam Auto Glue is a beast.
yeah.
It is some. I say it's the strongest glue on the market right now. Um,
I bought some at Orlando and then put it away. It was like fell down. 'Cause I have this big area where I keep all my glue, and it kind of fell to the bottom. Forgot I had it, and I was looking for something because I usually use Daniel Grom's orange,
yeah,
right, the hog glue, and um, the weather had kind of changed on me, so I was real. I just kind of like, oh, here's our cam stuff. I put it in a glue gun, got it going. I made the highest high spot. I
yeah.
pulled real hard thinking I got to get a nice snap, and it just stuck.
And our glue guns, if you ask Charles, our glue guns aren't even hot enough.
Right.
The glue gun he sells is at the right temperature. He was explaining like the eliminant glue gun, the sticky glue gun, they get them hot, but it's not at the exact temperature that's made for his glue. And it's some nasty stuff. I mean, it is
Yeah.
nasty. I only use it if I really have to. I actually originally bought it because of your brother. Your brother came over. He's like, "Man, do you see this stuff? It's sick." He's lifting a Toyota Corolla with a forklift with a glue tab
Yeah.
on the front. So, but it works. If you really need to get, you know, something nasty out, that stuff is it. I'll use it on the super tabs. I don't use the
Hmm.
super tabs as much since the cold glue. You know, I seem to use the cold glue a little more
Yeah.
than the super
I'm
tabs.
kind of an extremist. So anytime something new comes out, like right now, first thing I grab is my dead centers. I
Yeah.
mean, those things are just,
Yes. Yes.
I just start laughing.
And I
I get a snap with it with my mini lifter, and I'm just
yeah,
looking at it going, how the heck did
yeah.
that thing do that?
It really those tabs are I told Chris White they're game changers. They're game
Yeah.
changers. They really are.
Yeah.
They pull the
Yeah.
nastiest pit. Jonathan's asking, does anyone use the new bacon light? I saw they were at PDR World Cup. I haven't used it.
Uh,
Hopefully they're at MTE. I'd like to take a look at it.
yeah, for sure.
Um,
I've
just to
been
go
on the
through some,
auto cup.
huh?
I've been using the auto cup ever since it came out.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
now. Are you a 14 or 20 inch?
20.
20 inch. Look at that big
And
one.
I have an Ultra 36 too on a stand.
Okay.
So battery powered.
Okay.
Actually, it does both. But uh, yeah. So I'm sorry, I cut you off. What were you gonna say?
I don't even remember. I don't remember. So you are going to MTE?
It looks like it's going that way. I wasn't gonna do it because I got family coming back in town. My son's coming back from college, so but I was like, I'm gonna miss too much. I gotta go.
Yeah, I mean it's 2 events a year is tough. Um, but it's just a different crowd, and you would miss some stuff. The good,
Yeah,
the good thing is now I feel like you're getting yourself out of your box,
yeah.
and you're meeting more people because you're out of your box.
Well, and it's well, my brother's like, how do you go from not knowing anybody, to knowing everybody? And I said, well, you were right, man. And these guys are awesome, and they're sharing information. Matter of fact, I was picking your brain like crazy in Vegas when you were
Yeah,
because I was asking, how do you have so many locations?
yeah,
You're like, dude, they're satellite locations.
yeah,
Like, oh, I didn't even think of that.
yeah,
And it's got the entrepreneurial juices running again, and
yeah.
I got all kinds of ideas now.
It's just different now. There's so many
Yeah,
information. There's shows like this, the PDR Tool Time podcast, PDR College. There are so many things out there that you can
yeah,
educate yourself. I mean, I tell people all the time, go listen to PDR Tool, the Tool Time, the
yeah.
PDR College. The PDR College has some really. You go back from the beginning, they have some really good information in there that I pulled to even help me grow business.
Yeah, I'll listen to one of their current ones, and then I go back like a
Yeah,
year and
yeah,
start listening to those. And I just listen while I'm working,
yeah,
and those guys at PR Tool Time, I mean, they are just awesome. They're
yeah,
awesome people. I
yeah,
mean, not they got great information and all that, but Vince and Daniel's a stud,
yeah.
um, and obviously Mike and John, and I don't know John and I met Hudson at MTE, but
Mhm.
I don't know those guys that well, but they sound like great people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a great show. Well,
So
look, guys, we've got some other stuff. I'm still looking for an experienced tech. If anyone's looking to relocate, we are trying to grow and expand. So if you are interested in relocating and you're an experienced tech, please message me, send me a message, Facebook, Instagram, email, or just call. Um, but I appreciate you coming on, Chris.
hey
We were
man, this has
talking
been
and
a
we've been
blast.
talking for a couple months. I was like, I got to get you on the show, and I've got a list, and we're rolling through, and uh, I'm glad we could get your old butt on here.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stories, more stories to tell, but those are for the bar at MTE.
Yeah, you'll have to get together with him and his brother, and you will have a hard time keeping the beer in your mouth because it's
Yeah.
I don't think we have enough time tonight because I cannot go 2 hours and 20 minutes again because I was
No, no,
finished.
no.
Um,
I probably bored these guys to death as it is.
Come
So,
on, man. There's 40 people in here. You know what I mean? I mean, so I
yeah.
appreciate you coming on. How can people find you on social media, your website?
Website, a new one's being created, so that one's down right now. But
Okay.
it's just on Instagram and Facebook, so it's at dentpatrol.cb.
So go
So
check his stuff out. Make sure you and Chris is an easy dude to talk to. He's another guy just to reach out. I'm sure he'll answer any question you got. He's an old Dent Wizard
yeah,
dog too. So
or call me and teach me something.
hey,
You know,
no doubt.
old dogs learning new tricks, right?
No doubt. Well, look, guys, I appreciate you coming on for another episode. Next week, we are not gonna have a show. I'm sorry. Um, I'm actually going on a family vacation, so I'm gonna take a week
What?
off. I have to take this week off, and let you guys hear me the week after. But I appreciate all you guys coming on here. It's been a lot of fun. The week we get back, we are gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna do a massive giveaway. A little bit of push metal gear. She's also got her 50% off sale running till the end of the year. Get in there, buy yourself some stuff half price. And we're doing an Anson glue giveaway. So make sure you guys tune in. Try to blow some of this stuff out before the first of the year. And remember, guys, keep it real. And I will talk to you in 2 weeks. See you guys.
All right.